Okay, so I'm now going to show you how you can use LinkedIn to find your ideal prospects. Okay, again, this is all organic, and all you'll be using here is Sales Navigator. As mentioned above, Sales Navigator is just a health standard for when doing outreach on LinkedIn. You need to have it. It's LinkedIn's own lead generation upsell. So if you don't have it, you're not going to be classed as a lead generation person on this platform, and you're going to get banned very quickly. So we're going to be showing you how to do this using Sales Navigator, which is extremely effective. Okay? So the most consistent way to find your niche on LinkedIn is to use the Sales Navigator search. Okay? To do so, we simply have to create relevant searches on Sales Navigator targeting our niche. We track all of the searches we make using the Sales Nav Search Tracker, which is a resource I will link below for you. We start by simply creating a list of keywords relevant to our niche, which we can use in combination or on their own to find leads on LinkedIn or Sales Navigator. Okay, so let's open up the Sales Nav Search Tracker here. Okay, and as you'll see here on the left hand side, we've got a space for keywords. Okay, now what I've done is put a bunch of keywords which I use personally when targeting agency owners. If you're targeting coaches, agencies, consultants, and you can use these. However, obviously if you're targeting a different sort of niche, just come in here and just add at least 30 or 40 different keywords in, okay, that are just relevant to your niche, that you see, are important, that they would use quite a lot. So for me, in the agency space, I find that like LinkedIn, pay-per-click, search engine optimization, SEO, lead gen, agency media, just keywords that just revolve around your niche, that your niche uses on a daily basis, and the kind of sub niches within your niche that could exist. So like different services they sell, different performance plans they may have. Just you will know what relevant keywords are for your niche. Just make a big list of them. The bigger list you can make, the easier it's going to be in the long run when actually coming up with searches for LinkedIn. Okay, so once you've created a list of 20 to 30 keywords, we can start testing searches. Okay, it's very simple. We open LinkedIn, open Sales Navigator, and just do a search using the keywords. Okay, so I'm going to open LinkedIn here. To open Sales Navigator, you literally just press this button here. And then from here, we can do searches, all right? So let's choose 2 keywords, okay? For me, I'm just gonna use a very simple one, just marketing. Let's find agency here. Take the 2 keywords, this should be at the top here. Marketing agency, all right? We just take the keywords and we literally just do a general search into Sales Nav like this. Okay. Straight away we have 3 million results. Now 3 million results is just way too much. When you're doing automated searches using Ulink, you want a limit of around like 1,000 to 2,000 maximum. If we're doing them manually like we are here, then I would do list sizes of no more than 5,000, just so we can keep it specific to our actual niche. Now, obviously, your niche will be different than the agency space. There's a lot of people in the agency space, and already there's 3 million people on LinkedIn who are running some form of marketing agency. Okay, this is way too big, so we're going to have to use the search filters here in order to kind of niche down a little bit more to find a more specific search that will be good for us to lead source from. Okay, so we then use search filters, as I just mentioned, to refine our search. Okay, this step is really important to ensure our search results are accurate. Each niche will require different filters, but these are the recommended ones that I would use just as like a health standard when doing searches here. Okay, so first things first, I would go for a company headcount of 1 to 10. This just allows us to target the smaller companies, because obviously we don't want to be targeting the huge companies with 100 plus employees. I mean, you can if that's your niche. Truthfully, companies like that are probably, they're going to be so many people that you need to get to, and you're never going to be speaking to the actual decision makers. So I would always advise going for a company headcount of 1 to 10. All right. So let's pop this in here. To find the extra leads, you just come to the bottom and click see all filters. And then from here, we got company headcount, 1 to 10. Okay, again, you can do 11 to 50. It's up to you. I would always advise doing at least self-employed or 1 to 10, just to bring that down. And already we've got rid of 2.5 million results. All right, cool. Next, you want to put in the current job title, because obviously we want to be targeting the decision makers here. We don't want to be targeting managers or anything like that. We want to be targeting the owner, CEO, partner, founder, or co-founder. Okay. Obviously, again, these are just some of the names that they would take up. There's a lot more out there, and some niches may have different names, but these are the general ones. Okay. In order to add these in, you simply come to current job title and just type them in. So go owner, co-owner. Oh, I've just typed that somewhere else. Co-owner, CEO. Okay. For this search, what I'm going to do is just use owner, just so we get a little bit more niche down. You'll find if you've got quite a small sample size, you want to use as many of these as possible, just to get as many of these people in. But our aim here is not to get more of a sample size, it's to get less. So we're just going to use the owner for now. Okay, another really cool one that I found is useful is filling out the years in current company filter. Okay, now I try to do 0 to 5 because again it just weeds out the bigger companies, and it means we're going to be finding people who are in their more like infant stages and actually may need help. Okay, obviously there will be companies more established that you would want to reach out on to depending on your niche. However, I always go for 0 to 5. So I find we get good results that way. So all we have to do from here, we can minimize that and go to years in current company, and we want to go, we want to do all of these really. Less than 1, 1 to 2, 3 to 5. Cool. We're already down to 15,000 results. Okay. Next, profile language. Now this is a really important one because LinkedIn isn't going to filter out people who don't speak English, especially if we're targeting like the whole world. So it's just important here to fill out profile language as English or whatever you speak, just to allow everyone to be speaking our language pretty much. So we've already got rid of like 2,000 people there who don't speak our language. All right, just an important one. Next, industry. Now this one is going to be very niche dependent. And there'll be instances where you won't even need to do it. However, if we really are trying to get this number down to the magic like 5,000, we need to be putting in the industry here. And for this, all I would do is like advertising services or marketing services. Here we go, and we're down to 3.5 thousand. Right. This is a good number to kind of reach out to here. Very niche down, and we've made sure that we have included like a good amount of filtering just to remove the people who won't be a fit for us. Okay, we can go a little bit further. So posting on LinkedIn is one that I would almost always advise checking unless you have a tiny sample size here. It just makes sure that these people that we're reaching out to are actually active. Okay, because quite a lot of the time, LinkedIn is going to produce searches for accounts that haven't been active in over a year. So if they're posting on LinkedIn, it makes sure that they're actually going to be active accounts. And quite a lot of the time, people who just generally aren't posting aren't going to be a good fit for us anyway. It's up to you whether or not you do this or not. For full transparency, I never use this. I only use this if I've got a huge sample size because it normally takes at least 75% of the people away. However, I think this will be a very relevant filter for some niches out there. So I'm going to mention it to you, and it's up to you to go out and find ones that work very well. Okay. We then filter each search by location. Okay. So each one of these searches that we do, we will filter down to a specific location. So as of right now, we're just targeting the whole world here. Okay. All 1,000 people here are going to be, worldwide. But ideally, we want to filter each search by location. Okay, so it's up to you how you do this. You can do one keyword search to each country, so you can do it up to like the UK, the USA, or the rest of the world. And by rest of the world, I mean like Europe, Australia, places like that. And this is what I do. So I do a search like this, and I filter a search like this to UK, I filter like this to USA, and I filter like this to the whole rest of the world. All right. You can also, depending on your niche, filter this by state. So let's say you just target the US. You can then go ahead and target, California, Florida, Ohio, individually. Okay. Once you are happy with your search criteria, simply save a search for each location you want to target. So this is a really efficient way to kind of get these searches done as quickly as possible. Okay, so I'm going to show you the example of how I do it. So I'll save a search for UK, USA, and rest of the world. As I said, if you target the US, you can do one for all 50 states. If you target the UK, you can do one for every city. It's up to you how you kind of structure this. You can do one for each country, so you can do one for UK, one for Germany, one for Sweden. It's really up to you how you filter these, but it's very important that you save these searches. Okay, so what we're going to do here is come to location, and we're simply going to be type United Kingdom. Okay, we're going to include that, and we're down to 133 results. Now, granted, this is a very small sample size. Okay, so what I would probably do here is take out some of these filters, because this is very low, 399. I'd maybe even go for a bit of a higher. I'd definitely add in self-employed here if I was targeting agency owners, and immediately we've got around 500 results, which is a really good place to start here. Okay, as I said, a maximum of 5,000 per search. That's absolute maximum. So ideally, between the 500 to 1,000 range is a good way to go here. Now, what you want to do is pretty much save each one of these searches to a specific location here. So here we've done one search to the UK. We want to go ahead and save this search here. All right. We then want to do one search to the United States. Include. And save this search as well. And you'll see all your saved searches are popping up here. Okay. And then what I'll do again is do then one search to the rest of the world. So for an example here, I would do all the countries, but for this I'm just going to do Germany, Sweden, and Holland, Netherlands. Include these, and we're going to go ahead and save this search here. Okay. The reason we save these searches, it doesn't matter if it's marketing agency up here. It's just so every time we log into Sales Nav, all we have to do is click on one of these searches for the location, and simply just change the keyword search. Okay. So you'll see here, I can come to I think we should be able to. Label this UK. Okay, so this is UK search here. Apologies, no, this is the rest of world search. It's the other way around. Let me go ahead and label these for you just so you can see what I'm doing. So we do rest of world here. USA here. And UK here. Save these searches. Okay, so every time you log into Sales Nav, all you have to do is open up these searches and just change the keywords. Okay, so all the hard work's done for you. We're on the rest of world one here. All we have to do is take a different combination of keywords, for example, like Facebook ads. Copy and paste this into Sales Navigator. Command V and search. Okay, then from here we have one for every single one here. We go to USA. We can do the same, and we have a search saved for us here with the search criteria that we want, and all we're changing is the keyword just to target a different group of people. Okay. Now, after every search you make, you want to be putting it back into here. Okay. So what you want to do is obviously we're going to do 3 searches here: one for the UK, one for the USA, and one for the rest of the world. All we're going to be doing is tracking these so that we know which ones we've done and make sure that we're not doing the same one twice. All right. So for example here, if we come to our saved searches, we have a rest of world one to marketing agency. All we're going to do is take the link here, pop it into the top, and put in the location of your choice. So for example, this one would be rest of world. We can then come to USA, and we have our marketing agency search here. We take the URL, pop it in the box, and then location 2, which would be USA. and UK. We can come into here. We can pop the URL into here and do location 3. And you should do this for every combination of keywords, all right? Just so we can track everything. What I would honestly advise doing is just doing a bunch of these searches one by one and saving the URL. Then all you have to do when you log in to do outreach on LinkedIn is just click on one of these URLs, and you've also already got 1,000 leads here that you can reach out to, okay? So then if we're going to go ahead and keep doing this for Facebook ads like I just showed you, we'd come in here. And we'll just link, this is location 1, Facebook ads. Okay, this one is targeting United Kingdom. All we have to do is copy this and pop United Kingdom into here. Then we do another search for rest of world with the new keyword. All our criteria is saved. Copy and paste the URL into location 2. Okay, you get the picture here. It's just a way for us to track all of the searches we make and make sure that we're not doing the same search over and over again. What we can also do is reference each account. So quite a lot of people are going to be using multiple LinkedIn accounts. At the end here, just put in your LinkedIn account and just put in the account that the search was done on. It's just a good way for us to track everything that's going on, and obviously check it when it's completed. All right, very straightforward. That's how you use the Sales Navigator search tracker. And this is how you actually find the leads. And then from here, obviously what we can do is go ahead and email them here. We can connect with them and reach out to people this way. And then in here, for me, I've got 20 people doing Facebook ads who are fit. And this is like 1 day's almost worth of connection requests that I can do in one bulk. All right. Very, very efficient way to do outreach. Okay. And this should almost be like a standard fee when doing outreach on LinkedIn. Quite a lot of people just come to LinkedIn and do outreach from the homepage, which can work. I'm going to show you some examples of how we can do that. But by far, it's always best to use Sales Navigator because it just saves you the headache and also gets you off the platform. So yeah, awesome. So next, I'm going to show you how to run a group search. Okay, now group searches can be used to push the limit up a tiny bit more. So as I said, we can do 200 connection requests and 200 email requests. We can also send some group messages. Now, I'm unsure of what the actual limit is for an account that isn't using Ulink. I know that with Ulink, we can send 500 group messages every single week, completely automated. If you don't have Ulink, there's no real data out there or no kind of reference to how many that actually is. I think it's dependent on your social selling index. But nonetheless, we can push the limit a little bit further and do some group messages. And it's a really cool way to reach out to your second and third connections without actually connecting with them, okay? So to run a group search, you need to first join a number of groups with a large audience in your target market, okay? Keep in mind here, the number of outstanding join group requests is limited to about 20. So if you're not accepted into a group after a few days, just withdraw your request and go ahead and join new ones, okay? To run a group search, simply go to Sales Navigator, search bar. So I'm going to show you here. Come to LinkedIn, Sales Navigator. Come to the search bar. Choose lead filters, personal section. Here. And enter the group name using the groups filter, okay? So you come in here and just search for the group that you're a part of, pretty much, all right? Now, I'm not a member of any groups right now, so nothing's going to pop up when I show this. All you have to do is join like a marketing group up here. Wait for it to load. Go ahead and join this. Let me see if it just automatically accepts me in. Yeah, am I in? I think I'm in. So let's take this. Let's reload sales now, so it definitely loads up. Come to personal section, groups, and just type the group name in here. And then we can look at everyone that's in this group. Now, obviously, this group has like 2 million members. So this obviously isn't the best example. Obviously, you want to be targeting a more niche group. Those are revolving around your niche. For example, like a real estate owners community or like a gym owners community. or something where your group, your niche would hang out. And from here, what you can do is search into the group and do group messages this way. This allows us to also, bypass some of the limits here. And yeah, it's just a really cool way to reach out to more people on LinkedIn. Okay. From here, obviously, you can connection request or email the leads that you deem a fit for your business. Obviously, you want to be using some of these filters here, like I showed you before, just to really niche this down. But it's a really cool way to find new sample sizes without using just the standard LinkedIn search. If you find that you've exhausted the keyword combination for like a specific LinkedIn just general search, try joining a group revolving around the keywords that you've got, and just doing a search into that group and lead sourcing people this way. Okay. Awesome. Nice. Okay, so now I've kind of covered how to use Sales Navigator, which is by far the best way to lead source on LinkedIn. So if you're watching this video, I would just use what I've told you here to find your leads. However, if for some reason you haven't got Sales Navigator, or you want to look at a different kind of approach in order to source leads, we can also use a bunch of different resources that LinkedIn offers us just on the platform. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is how to use like your competitors and influencers within the space in order to find leads on LinkedIn. Okay, so you aren't the only person targeting your niche on LinkedIn. There are hundreds of other agencies, coaches, and consultants exactly like you that are targeting your niche. Okay, if we can find competitors, appointment setters, or influencers that are also targeting your niche, we effectively have a profile that is lead sourcing our dream clients for us. Okay, all we really have to do is find them and scrape the leads for ourselves. Okay, if you're watching this video, you probably have a general understanding, or hopefully a good understanding, of who the top dogs are in your specific niche. Okay, if you don't know, find out. This information will not be hard to find. I know most of you will already know it, but it can just take a simple Google search to find who the big agencies are in your space that are also targeting your niche. Okay, all we have to do is simply find their profiles using LinkedIn or a Google search, and then use the content they post in order to source your own leads. Okay, so you want to be looking at the kind of people who are engaging with their posts by liking, commenting, and sharing, and these guys will most of the time be a perfect fit for you. Okay, and you want to work through all their posts. So I'll show you an example here of Charlie. Obviously, I know Charlie's a big person in the industry, and if I wasn't a part of EasyGrow, I would still know that Charlie is one of the top dogs in the agency space, and his posts would be a really good way to source my own leads. Okay, if I wanted to find Charlie's account, it's just a simple LinkedIn search. You can also just go ahead and do a Google search for Charlie Morgan LinkedIn, because I know sometimes it's a little bit harder to find their accounts, especially the smaller influencers. If you know who they are, it's quite hard to find them. So there we go, we can find his account very easily. All we have to do from here is go to his posts, show all posts, and just lead source for here from the people that are interacting. Okay, because all the people who are liking and engaging with these posts, they're not just going to be the random person. Okay, if anyone's interacting here with a giveaway that is giving away a training, the only people liking and interacting here are going to be fits for my business. Okay, and this goes for your relevant niches as well. Okay, there's going to be agencies, there's going to be competitors, there's going to be appointment setters who are also targeting your exact same niche. You just have to find them and lead source from there. Okay, we can work through his posts this way, look at everyone he's liking. What I would do is open everyone up into a new tab. Okay, it's really good to go for a volume approach when you're doing outreach on any platform, really, instead of just looking at one person at a time. It's just slow. You want to be going for a complete volume approach, even if they're not fit. Notice here how I'm not even prejudging them at all. I'm just opening their accounts, even if there's duplicates in here, even if there's people that I know I can't reach out to here, I'm just go ahead and just open everyone. And then straight away I've got 20 people who could be a fit. And then all it takes is going back through these list of tabs and finding the people who are a fit. Okay, so straight away he's an influencer and creator expert, perfect fit for me. This guy here doesn't actively say that he sells anything, so he's not the perfect fit, but he has engaged with this post here. All right, and that says to me that because he's interacting with this, he does have some kind of affiliation with the agency space. So personally, I would still reach out to this person. And, you know, for you guys in your relevant niche, if they are interacting with a post, then 9 times out of 10, they do work within that niche. They're just not actively advertising it. Because as we know, not everyone, you know, does content strategies. So not everyone is going to be using a profile primed for outreach. So even if they just have a normal name, normal account, this guy could be doing 20K a month, 30K, 50. This guy could be like doing 400K a month with some kind of automation agency, and you never know because he's not on here. Quite a lot of the time, in my experience, I find the accounts like this are doing a lot better than a lot of the accounts that are primed like this. You got to think like Bill Gates, you know, Elon Musk. They're not really on social media. They don't have accounts like this, do they? But they're making billions. So don't underestimate accounts like this. If they are interacting with posts, 9 times out of 10 they're going to be a fit for your agency. All right. Awesome. Google Ads expert, founder of MSPH Media, and here I've just found a bunch of people who I could potentially reach out to. They're a fit. Okay. And we can work through, we've got all these people here who are a perfect fit. And this goes for like any kinds of niche, all right? Just a very effective way to do this. And the really cool thing about this is you can kind of almost go down a rabbit hole, because there's also going to be other influencers and competitors who are liking this. So all we have to do here is come to people who are posting. So this guy's posting, let's have a look at his posts. Maybe not the best example. We can almost like go down a rabbit hole of other people targeting this niche, because people who are liking this stuff could also be targeting this niche and making posts around it. So this guy's doing comments to marketing agency owners who's liking this, you know, and only himself. But we could like work through and go through a rabbit hole and find other people who are a good fit and just continue going from there. So again, this goes to this guy's posts. Begin with content, foster imagination. Let's go to who's liking this. Okay, straight away I found 4 more people who are a fit. And you always want to go down this, like, I know I've said it like 3 times now, this rabbit hole, and just get really deep into different platforms and different posts. This guy is doing a software service. Does he have posts? He might have posts targeting the same niche. And always go down, I'm going to say it again, a LinkedIn rabbit hole to find perfect fits for your business. Okay, and this will be relevant for every single niche. There's also going to be other competitors liking every single post. And yeah, it's a very, very efficient way to find your leads on Facebook, LinkedIn, using competitors and influencers. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to cover is the network tab. Okay. So I would reserve everything I'm going to mention below until you've at least been doing some sales navigator searches and competitors influencer searches for, you know, at least a month, because these very much rely on LinkedIn's algorithm recommending people to you. All right. But it's a very way to find leads with, you know, literally no effort, really. All you have to do is open the connection or network tab, and LinkedIn will literally just start suggesting accounts that are a perfect fit for you to you. All right. And the way we do this is literally just come to the homepage, come to my network, and just scroll down here. Okay, so LinkedIn will suggest you a bunch of different things, people you know, based on recent activity. In here, you know, rewire your brain, website, time marketing, already a few fits in here who could be a fit as a coaching consultant, creative agency, director at time marketing, like all these people are literally just leads here. LinkedIn is literally giving me leads. If we keep going down, it will show people who are also interested in certain things that we're in, and it will give us a bunch of different, you know, groups we can subscribe to, and in here there'll be different things. Here there's just groups that you may be interested in, so we can just join these, and again, lead source using the sales nav search. People who are in advertising services industries, again, a bunch of people here. Founder of Social Moody, account manager at Great Influence, senior consultant, people you may know. So this is a location-based suggestion, but everyone here, even though on my area is set to Bristol, it's showing me people in Bristol who are also agency owners. So LinkedIn very much knows that I'm in the agency space and it's going to show me more people that I connect with. All I have to do is follow them, Sales Navigator, in-mail them, I can in-mail them here and do my thing. All right. Yeah. LinkedIn is once you have Sales Navigator, LinkedIn is literally perfect for lead generation and outreach. Again, more suggestions. Everyone is suggesting to me is doing Facebook ads. I help businesses consistently generate. All these people are good fits for my business, and it's almost endless, man. Like you literally be able to scroll down this all day on the network tab and just find perfect fits. You can see everyone here is a fit for my business, just because I've been priming this account using Sales Navigator searches and targeting influencers and targeting people from that. Now, the only thing that LinkedIn suggests to me is good fits for my business. All right. So, as I said here, you can use the suggested, people you may know, members near you, members with things in common. Literally, I wouldn't even bother focusing too much on these. Just open the network tab after you've been doing outreach for a while, and it will just show you perfect fits. Okay. The next thing that we can really use, again, this is more of like an algorithmic approach, is we can use the newsfeed. Okay, so once you've used the above methods for a short while, you can start using LinkedIn's algorithm to lead source. All you have to do is simply open up your timeline, scan for posts that are made targeting your niche, use the likes, comments, shares to find perfect fits for your business on autopilot. So again, you can just kind of open up the homepage here. Now, this isn't the best way to do this by far. The network tab is the best, but this also works on the homepage here. Because I've found in my experience, LinkedIn just puts a lot of garbage in front of you, and quite a lot. I don't understand how so many people spend so much time on this platform, because it's just a load of rubbish, really. But we can also find people who are targeting our niche in here. Straight away, Colin Slattery, Google, you don't need agencies. Our AI can take care of it all for you. Also Google, these guys. So for a second I thought this was a guy promoting his stuff. But from here we can see straight away, this guy's making like a funny post. But straight away we found someone here who's running a Facebook ads and Google ads agency. And then from here, again, we can use the same approach. Come to his posts, show all posts, look at who's commenting, look at who's liking, because he's targeting my niche. So he's doing my job for me here. Okay, back to the home feed. Let's try and find some more examples here for you. It took me 1 year for my first 10k month. This year I've never dipped below it. Cool. From here, who's liking this? This is like an extended version of the competitors/influencers approach. It's a little bit more inconsistent, so I've given it its own tab here because it's much more consistent to search them and find them. But you can also find these people, this way. And straight away from one post, I found a guy who's helping founders sign clients through LinkedIn. Managing director, that doesn't really look like a fit. I help business owners increase revenue to 7 figures with sales. Okay, so straight away I found a few people. Again, down the rabbit hole, I can do more posts. You get the idea. What I would do is obviously I would go ahead and follow this person. To be fair, I think I'm already connected with him. Yeah, I am. And yeah, people like this will just end up popping up. And the good thing about like automating these connection requests and doing these 200 per week, targeting our niche, is these people are also going to be doing posts, so we can go in and source leads from here. Okay, as you can see in this video, it's very easy to lead source on LinkedIn. There's really not much work that needs to go into it. And the final thing here are hashtags that we can use. Now, I didn't actually know that you could use hashtags until I made this video, because hashtags aren't really actively promoted by LinkedIn, and I don't use them, but people do use them. Okay, so we can actually find hashtags either using these posts or by searching for them in the search bar, and then from there we can find people also targeting our niche. Okay, so let's just go for hashtag SMMA. Funnily enough, okay, my laptop doesn't actually have a hashtag button. I've got a MacBook and it's very weird. So I'm just going to use this search and do this, and then we can find posts using hashtag SMMA, and just click on these hashtags. Well, this is actually not the right way to do it. But we can just find other hashtags for SMMA here, and just find people who are targeting this. Or we can do like hashtag gym owner. Smart advice for gym owners right here. Okay, and then from here, oh, could we potentially find 10 gym owners? Yeah, general manager, Fervid Fitness, gym owner and founder. You know, you can do the same for every niche. Hashtag real estate. And then yeah, just find people who are this guy's partnering with realtors. Okay, who's liking this stuff? Any real estate agents here? You know, you get the picture. You find the hashtag. You can find people using the hashtag. You can find people, you know, actually you can find more influencers this way. It's just a really cool way to lead source. Okay. Another good thing is you can also follow these hashtags. Okay. Now, full transparency here, I've actually not found a way to do that, but LinkedIn says you can do it. So go ahead and just find a way to follow them. It's a really cool way to save your leads. So that is how to lead source on LinkedIn. Okay, there's more methods here. If you're watching this and you have other methods, you know, I know them, but I don't want to overload you because LinkedIn outreach is just too good as it is, and I don't want to give you all these different methods that don't work, you know, massively well when I know that all these work incredibly well. Okay, so just focus on the things that work here. Start with the Sales Navigator search because this is by far the best way to do it, and then go ahead and start using like competitors, network tab, newsfeed. It's very important that you're not just relying on one thing. So quite a lot of my setters who work for me got into the habit of just coming into the network tab every day and lead sourcing that way, and then they were confused when their connection started going down and they started struggling a little bit. Okay, and it's because you're just relying on one source to feed your system. Okay, it's very important that you just use a bunch of different things. So if I was you, what I would do is do a few searches using a few different keywords here, and then maybe come down, after doing that for like 3-4 days, come down and do some newsfeed searching and some like network tab searching, and then the next stage is to exclusively do hashtags. Just make sure you're constantly changing the way that you're reaching out to these leads so that you can keep LinkedIn giving you the right leads, but then also keep the searches that you're doing, relevant. Because if you just rely on one thing, you're going to be finding the same people over and over again eventually. So it's good to not exhaust your whole niche by just targeting one group of people. You want to be using everything here to really get a full search done. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So yeah, that's how you find your leads on LinkedIn. I'm very happy that you stayed to the end of this video, and I wish you all the best with finding your leads on LinkedIn, because I've now shown you exactly how to do it. If you have any questions, my DMs are always open. I'm on school. My name is Will Selway. Go ahead and shoot me a message if you have any questions, or alternatively pop it into the community and tag me. And yeah, good luck lead hunting.